Hey guys, welcome to Code Decode. In this video, we're going to look into the ways of sending email through a Spring Boot application. We will see multiple ways of doing it. To start with, we will start with JavaMailSender API, a library given by Spring Boot framework for us to easily send emails using SMTP servers. Here we are going to use Gmail's SMTP server for sending emails. Also, we'll see the live demo of this email getting sent and received in our Gmail inbox. Towards the end of this video, we are also going to see ways in which the enterprise level applications, the big level applications, which is deployed on cloud, uses what application to send emails. So connect with me till the end so that we can see how this SMTP server sending emails works actually internally. The code mostly will remain the same, just the ways through which we can send email changes. Even for the high level applications who use different ways of sending emails also internally uses SMTP only. So let's get started and see how to send an email with a basic one, that is JavaMailSender APIs. Let's get started. So when you want to send an email through a Spring Boot application, the best way which is given is the JavaMailSender. This is a very basic way. For a small application, this is good. So there is a JavaMail library. You can go here, you can see this is a JavaMail library given by Spring Framework to us to send an email easily. It's basically the JavaMail implementation. So let's quickly start with the live demo, how to send an email through this library. So for that, you have to add a starter dependency, this one. So let me copy this. Let's quickly create a Spring Initializer project. Here I'm going to create a Maven Java project with group says com code decode test email. And let's add dependencies first. So I'll be needing a web dependency first, as I'm going to use a controller and service layer. Also, I need email functionality. So JavaMailSender API we are going to use here. And let's quickly generate. It's generated. Let's import this in our IntelliJ. I have extracted this test email. So I'm going to open this test email. In the POM, you can see I have a Spring Starter Mail dependency already there. I'm waiting for my dependencies to get resolved and my M2 to get updated with the jar so that I can use the mail functionality given by Spring Boot to us. And now it says it's all perfect. I have my dependencies resolved. So now we have the dependency added. Now we need some configurations to be done. I'm going to copy these configurations. These configurations like Spring Mail host, mail port, username, passwords, authentication and startle enabled true. We are going to copy this and we are going to add it to our configuration properties. So in the resources, we have application.properties. I'm going to add these properties here.
Hey guys, recently we have launched a course covering an end-to-end full stack application using Angular as front end and microservices and Spring Boot as the back end. Also, we have used cloud to deploy this application and we have used CI/CD, that is Jenkins and Argo CD, for continuous integration and continuous deployment. The technologies that we have used is REST, RESTful web services, Spring Boot and microservices for backend, Angular for front end. GitHub we have used for version control system. Also, to make the code unit testable, we have used JUnits. We have used Sonar for code quality checks. Also, for containerization, we have used Docker and Kubernetes. And to deploy this whole application, we have used AWS and multiple services from AWS. Also, we have used SQL as well as NoSQL, that is MongoDB and SQL. On AWS, since for the SQL we have RDS, we have used those services, and Jenkins and Argo CD for CI/CD pipeline. Also, this is an architecture of the application that we have created where the front end is Angular and the back end is microservices. We have used ALB load balancers, Ingress for routing and load balancing. And we have used SQL and MongoDB for SQL and NoSQL DB management with Eureka server and all those microservices counterparts. Now this is the CI/CD pipeline. This is the CI/CD flowchart for the application that we have created on local. So this is something, a flow when you create an application in local, push it to GitHub, create a Jenkins pipeline, and do the CI/CD using Jenkins and Argo CD. And at the end, deploy the whole code at AWS EKS. Complete description of this course is covered in a very separate video. The link for that video is also given in the description bar below, and also the link to purchase that course from Udemy is also in the description bar below. So please go and check the description for all these links.
So here the host SMTP is used, smtpgmail.com is used. This is basically a Gmail's host address, which the SMTP server address for Gmail uses to send emails. The next is port number 587. So this property is used to find the port for your Spring Boot application to connect to SMTP server, that is Gmail. So for Gmail, the port number is typically used for SMTP and LTS encryptions. The next is username. So here you have to put the username for your Gmail account. That is basically the from. So whenever you send an email, that is having 4 main fields. From, the one who is sending the email, to whom it is actually relevant to, subject line, and body. So these 4 things we are going to run around our email functionality with. So this is basically the to from functionality. The next is auth equals to 2. So it indicates whether SMTP authentication should be enabled or not. If it is true, that means yes, you need authentication to connect to servers, and hence authentication and authorization is important. This property is basically for transport layer security for SMTP connections. This is an upgrade to insecure SMTP connection, and if you make it true, then it is much more secure because it is more encrypted. So if these last two properties are only for security of your application. Once done, you add your email ID here. That will be from email ID. Your password, this is not your Gmail password. This is the place where most of the people do wrong. So whenever they ask you to write a POC, you would add your Gmail ID password here, and then you keep breaking your head, why my password is not getting generated? Why my email is not getting generated? Because you're giving the wrong password. Your password will not work here. You have to go to your SMTP server, that is Gmail, set your password there and use that password here. So yes, sending through Gmail as an SMTP server, you have to make changes in your SMTP server's configurations. So this is the most important part of the whole POC that you do for sending emails through Spring Boot application. So here you put your login ID. I have already created my email account with code decode test email. So I have this mail ID with me already. Now here I need to generate the password. So how will I generate the password? Let's see in this process how to generate the password by modifying your Gmail account. So the first thing you need to do is the Gmail ID is used here. So that is done. We have used the Gmail ID here. The next is password. So to enable the password, we need 2-step verification enabled in our Gmail account. So how do you do that? Go to Gmail, click manage account. So go here, click manage accounts. Here in security, you have to enable your 2-step verification. I have done it when I was doing the POC of this. So once you enable, it will ask you for your phone number where the one-time password will be sent. So add that code on the screen and you will be able to enable your 2-step verifications while logging into your Gmail account. Once that is done, you can go to app passwords. So this is the link, myaccounts.google.com app passwords. Simple. In your account, just add app passwords or click on this link. So on app passwords, it will ask you for adding your app name. So first, since I have already have my session up and running for my Gmail, it doesn't ask me to verify myself. But if you have some time lost here and there during the POC, you might have to verify yourself. Once done, they will navigate you to the passwords page, where it will ask you to first add the application name, because you can have multiple applications. So you have to add the different app name there and different password there. As soon as you add your app name, they will have a button called as generate or create, and then your password will be generated. So suppose I give my app name as email demo, and as soon as I do a create, a password will be generated. I'll copy that password and add it in my properties file. So I'm not going to show that. You just click on create. You have a password generated there. Copy that password and add it here. It will be usually it will be a 16 digits alphabets with a space after every 4 words. So it will be in the form of XXXX space YYYY space ZZZZ space UUUU. Once done, your properties are done. Now you have to code in Java to send an email. So let's do that now. Here in the package, I'm going to create a new package called as controller and service. Since we're going to create new functionality of sending an email. So I need a service where my service layer logic goes, and I need a controller where my handler will be there, which I will use to call the send email functionality. So yes, again, a good question will be, why not normal password? So here in the properties file, you have added the ID as code decode test email. Then why not normal password that you have set for your email, Gmail? That will not work. I have already tried that. If you add that password, you will not be able to connect to your Gmail securely. That is not a good practice, and Gmail does not allow you. So what you have to do is go into a security, enable two-factor authentication, go to your manage passwords and add a password for your application. So every password is application specific. So add that in your Gmail account and copy that password. Remember to copy that password and add it to your properties file. Then you will be easily able to send from your application an email to your legitimate recipient. So by generating an app-specific password, you adhere to security principles, reduce the risk of unauthorized access, and you have better control over the Gmail account and all your applications added to your Gmail account. The next is to create a service class and inject a mail sender bean. Then you have to create the method to send the email to the desired user. And after that, you have to create a controller. So let's quickly create a service first. So I'm going to create a Java class name as send email service. This send email service is going to be a service. So I'm going to annotate it with service now. Also, it is going to auto wire JavaMailSender to send an email to, and I'll have a public void send email method who is going to send an email. Now I have told you there are 4 things: the to, the from, the subject and the body. To I know to get from. So I'm going to get the to from the user. From is already in my properties file. So from I have already configured in my properties. So with @value by notation, I can easily fetch my from field. So Spring Mail username is the one who is from email ID. The next I need is to. So I'm going to take it in string as recipient. Then I'm going to take body and subject. Once done, I'm going to create a simple mail message. And in the simple mail message, I'm going to set everything. So first I'm going to set from, that will be from my properties file. I'm going to set my recipient. Then I'm going to set my body. And body is set as text. And then I'm going to set my subject. You can leave the subject empty also. Once your mail message is ready, you just have to send this email using JavaSender mail. Simple. This easy it is to send an email. And this will work like a charm. Now to test this, I need to call this method from a controller. So in the controller, I'm going to create a controller. So email controller. Since this is a controller, I'm going to annotate it with REST controller. I'm going to have my service auto wired. So private email service, send email service. Here I have a method, say a simple get method. Say send email. I'm going to have a public method which will return me the email is sent or not. Send email method, which is going to take three things. It can take it from user, or I can right now hard code it. Later on, you can make it as a response body, make this as a post mapping and get all the three things from the postman or the client. Currently, I'm going to give everything as test email. So I'm going to call my email sender service.send method. I'm going to give the to, or the recipient is again myself because I want to test it. So again, code decode test email @gmail.com. So again, code decode test email @gmail.com. So I'm sending, I'm receiving it. I'm going to send the body as test body. And I'm going to send my subject as test subject. And that is it. And then once this is done successfully, I'm going to return sent successfully. If some exception occurs, your return statement won't work and you will see an exception in the postman itself. So our controller layer and everything is ready. Let's quickly try running it and sending the email here. It says it started. Let's run the postman. I'm going to have a get message localhost 8080 send email. It should actually reach here, and from here it should reach to my simple mail message and it should send it here. So let's try debugging it. So as soon as I send, my flow reaches to my controller send method. So here I'm going to create a simple mail message. I'm going to set my email ID, set my recipient. Email ID is from my properties file. Recipient is, I'm the one who is going to receive it again. The body is the test body, subject is a test subject. And when this mail is going to go, I should have my mail message in my sent box also, in my inbox also, because both of them are same. I am the one receiving it, I am the one sending it with the test body and test subject. So let's see, I should first get my done message here because my controller is going to return send successfully. Let's see if that happens. Yes, it says send successfully. Let's go there and see in my mailbox if I have the mail. Yes, I have mail here. The test body, the test subject, and my sent also has the test body and test subject. So this was as easy as that. So what we have done is we have added the dependency. We have added the required configurations for sending an email through Gmail SMTP server. It requires your username password. For username, that was very simple. For the password, you have to go to your Gmail account, manage your account. In the security, enable your two-way step verification. Do not add your password directly. Add your app name, generate a password from there and add a password here. Once everything is done, most of your task is done. Just generate the password, create a service layer where you have only 4 things mandatory, 2 from body and subject, even subject is not mandatory. Create a controller layer to test this one, just like it did. You can test it in 2 ways, without an email and with an email attachment. If you want to know a basic code to how to handle the emails with attachment, let me know in the comment section. I'll extend this video to with attachment functionality also, if you let me know in the comment section. Also, to do that, go to your manage accounts, enable this 2-step verification, click on your app passwords and then set your app name and password there. This was a simple way to do that. So this was very simple way. Advantage was it is very simple and you have a direct control over email sending, but this is not a reliable one. Also, you have a lot of customizations you can do because you are the one using the direct SMTP server for sending your emails. Also, it is very cost effective. You can see I have not purchased anything. I have directly sent it using my email, that is Gmail, and sent it. So there is no cost adhered to it. But there are many disadvantages of this simple procedure. The first one is when you have a very big enterprise level application, you cannot rely on this because this is not transactional. This is not reliable. This is not scalable also. So when you have, so I'll give you an example. You have an application. Your application is deployed in cloud. You have 10 instances. All the 10 instances, suppose, sent an email to your one customer. So his email is filled with 10 emails sending the same message that you have purchased this product. 10 times you have purchased this product. Such a bad user experience. So do not rely on this one. For the big enterprise level applications, we have a better options like SendGrid, Amazon SES, Mailgun and all. So the best one is SendGrid. So SendGrid is a cloud-based email delivery platform that allows business or the large enterprise level applications to send transactional and marketing emails. Reliability at bulk, at scalability, and everything is so good. There is also tracking. There is a dashboard. There you can see, have the analytics, how many have been reached, how many are still stuck. You can have a proper tracking where it is stuck. You have real-time monitoring of those emails. You have email template management. Everything is so beautifully done with SendGrid here. So SendGrid is also going to use SMTP as the underlying platform, but it will give you many more functionalities over it. So it actually integrates email functionality into your applications easily using SendGrid here. So it will help business optimize their email campaigns and improve the deliverability rates. It is usually used by many companies with all sizes to manage their email communications effectively and efficiently. For the good practice, I would say you could have used email service interface and you could have used abstraction. For better performance, you can have used dev tools. You could have used logging. You could have used security. In this small POC, you could have used many things, but this is just a small POC that I've done for you. Also, if you want me to extend this POC further to send an email using the attachment also, so there will be one more file handling thing apart from just this simple mail message. If you want me to extend this to send an attachment also, and also if you want to implement SendGrid here, you can ask me. I'll implement two things: the way to send an attachment to an email, also how to implement SendGrid, which is actually done in a real-time application. So if you say you have done it through this way, nobody will rely on you, because this is not a way how the real-time emailing function works in Spring Boot and large applications, cloud-based applications. So only if you let me know in the comment section, I'll create both of these videos for you. Thank you.